Hey, you mentioned Michael Vick did his time, and I don't want to tangentialize too much, but I mean, I think it's crazy that this Occupy stuff's going on, and I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it. I don't know where you fall or what you've seen, but it's crazy that those guys haven't done any time yet.
Well, there's no leader. That's the thing. They're trying to find someone to put away where they can stop the movement. The scariest thing about Occupy Wall Street for them is that there's no one person with a megaphone.
Right. It's the only reason they're lasting so long.
Well,
I mean, it could be.
It's getting bigger, too. It's bigger and bigger every day. This is the beginning of something huge.
Right.
This is not just what it looked like. What it looked like was like one of them fucking Glenn Beck rallies that just got real long, lasted a while. Everybody's pissed. Yeah, I get it. You're pissed. I'm pissed too. But then after a couple of weeks, it's like, this is not the same. This is a different feeling. Yeah. This has an overthrow the government feel to it.
Yeah. I mean, I saw people out there for the first time with like giant signs that said audit the Fed. And I was like, I didn't see you guys out here for any other rally. And maybe that's just because my eyes weren't open enough, but I went, okay, if this is how it's going to go down, let's get it going.
Well, I've had some discussions about this on my message board, and there's some real good points that a lot of these guys brought up that I agree with. And one of them is that there's not a lot of cohesive message to this thing.
Right.
It's like there's so many different people with so many different wants.
But that's going to happen with any movement.
Sure, absolutely. Especially a movement with no leader.
Right.
That they go there and they're like, stop the drone killings, and there's PETA people there, and there's fucking solar people there, and hemp people there, and there's legalized marijuana people there, and everyone's got their own signs, and it's not just Occupy Wall Street. It's everything that sucks. And I don't.
The guy had a sign that said "Shit's fucked up" and it's bullshit. And I was like, "Abso-fucking-lutely, dude. Shit's fucked up." So that's reason enough to get out there. And right now, the major concern is watching special interest groups, agent provocateurs, watch them try to roll into the fray and do their YouTube videos to fight back and their CNN coverage to picture the protest in a certain direction. It's so fascinating to watch the way the steps were outlined for it. Here's what happened to the Tea Party. Here's how every other movement has been marginalized. Excuse me, coffee, bad. Marginalized every other movement for years. And to watch those steps playing out right now with Occupy Wall Street and seeing if it's going to thrive or if it's going to crumble in on itself.
Do you think that someone marginalized the Tea Party, or do you think they just did it to themselves?
The people who truly, and this is from Reddit articles and from what I can cobble together on Wikipedia, but the people who were at the true heart of the original Tea Party were anti-Federal Reserve.
Right.
They were anti-big banks. They were anti-corporations. And a lot of people say, well, they're Ron Paul supporters. So they got lumped in as, okay, you're Ron Paul, so you're Republican. And they're like, wait, but we're not necessarily Republican. I mean, we do believe in some of Ron Paul's ideas. And nope, you're Republican. Now we're going to get some crazies out there with some hats that have tea bags dangling from them and send out flyers.
Well, you really think that someone sent those people out there? You don't think that there was a lot of people that just joined in?
No, there certainly were. But
so you think that it was orchestrated?
I think aspects of it were orchestrated. I think I think there's documented proof of people doing that. I mean, they already have agent provocateurs.
Of course.
That Citibank thing where those guys got arrested, the 40 people that were in a Citibank trying to close their bank accounts. Now, they were being assholes. They were being dicks. They had their cardboard signs inside a Citibank.
They were disrupting
and they're
business.
shouting. They were being disruptive.
Yeah, they weren't just canceling their bank accounts.
The guy who was the loudest there, one of the guys who was the loudest from videos that I've seen, was an undercover cop.
What?
So he was right in there. Yeah, it's out there.
Wow.
So one of the ladies who went in there, she did protest. She did say her speech, but then she politely, after they told her to quiet down. And this is, again, I can only cobble together so many stories, but this is what I've observed over a few articles. She quietly calmed down. She closed her bank account. She was outside. They locked everybody in because the police said, well, if they're disrupting business, hold them there, which I don't, even for being an asshole, I don't think you can legally detain somebody like that without the cops being there.
Right.
Dude came outside. She said, I'm a customer, showing him the Citibank bank receipts and stuff. She said, I'm supposed to be in there. I'm trying to cancel my account. He's like, you were one of the protesters. Grabs her, bear hold style, and drags her back inside the Citibank to be processed.
Wow.
Well, Citibank, this is hilarious. The Citibank protesters are saying that the undercover cops set them up. Thought it was a setup.
Wow. So the one thing this movement has going for it, which has me remaining so hopeful, is that they are so fucking connected. Like, that's what makes it great, because the second bullshit happens, it's like, listen, yeah, that's one story, but here's 40 other angles of that event, start to finish. You look at what happened, and they showed a commercial right now. There's an attack commercial against the movement that has some crazy guy who's known for being a crazy YouTube guy spouting anti-Semitic remarks at people left and right. And there's one guy, and there's another dude that has a sign that was anti-Semitic, and they cut back and forth between this guy for like 3 minutes. This guy with the sign, the guy with that, and there's video of people at that protest shaming them, telling them to get the fuck out of here. This doesn't belong here.
Right.
So you see one message and you go, crazy anti-Semitism. There you go. I get why people believe that. That's the message they see. But this movement is so connected that there's a chance that you could see 40 other perspectives on an event and truly make it up for yourself. Well, you can truly decide.
This Citibank arrest, now that we're talking about this, and now that I'm going, and you told me this, and I'm going online, and we'll tweet this stuff too, people are getting a chance to, do you want one of those, man? There's cold ones in there. Yeah, open the top. Thanks, man. On the bottom there, bottom shelf there. There you go, fella. Get one for everybody. Yeah, sure, thanks. This is why they're saying that they know that the guy was an undercover cop. It's because he fucking arrested one of them once they got outside.
Oh my God.
The fucking guy, he wasn't just an undercover cop. He was mocking them and laughing about it. He arrested one of the protesters outside, slammed her into a wall, and pushed her back into the bank.
Oh my God.
There's video of that.
He was at the precinct while they were all getting arrested, and he was laughing with fellow white shirt cops, telling them about what we'd been saying, basically. It was a bit startling how inside their information was, how they were being paid to go to these protests and put us in situations where we'd be arrested and not be able to leave. That's amazing.
It's not the only incident by a long shot.
That's crazy. But who is in charge of this? If this guy's an undercover cop, right? And where is this Citibank branch? What part of the country was this?
I don't recall.
Oh, that sucks. I would like to know.
Is it not there on the article?
New York. It's New York. Wow.
Oh, there you go. So you know who's behind
Washington Square Park Police. Wow. They set this woman up. This is disgusting.
It's not the only incident
this
whatsoever.
Is disgusting that this should be fraud. We should be able to sue them for fraud.
Yeah, I hope they can.
Misrepresenting our tax dollars and misrepresenting your position to protect us. You are leading someone into an illegal event, and then you're the one who's screaming shit out and citing them.
Did you know about kettling? The procedure of kettling?
What's that?
It's what the cops, they have a term for it. It's for cutting off large sections of a crowd for arrest during a protest. So that Brooklyn Bridge arrest, there's a lot of views that, depending upon how you want to interpret the video that you're watching, those guys were kettled. So it means like they create a pot. In this case, it was the Brooklyn Bridge, right? They cut off one end of the Brooklyn Bridge. Then they told protesters, hey, no foot traffic allowed on the bridge, into a megaphone, which if you've ever been to a rally, the first 3 people can hear that megaphone.
Right.
No one else fucking can. No one else can. So they have one officer in the very front. You guys can't be here. Guys can't be here. Guys can't be here. No foot traffic. Puts it away. All right, everybody. He turns around, and many of the protesters felt that there was a line of police officers walking down the street, leading them onto the Brooklyn Bridge, like across it. The protesters thought they had a minor victory. They were like, fuck yeah, Brooklyn Bridge, we got this shit. The cops get about halfway in, they cut them off, they put the lid on the kettle, and they cut off this large group of protesters on the bridge and arrested them all.
Wow.
It was like leading the marching band into
They arrested like 700 people or something.
that got a lot,
right?
Yeah.
It's cowboys.
Yeah. It really is. They were just hurting protesters.
Hurting protesters.
Well, you know what, man?
But it sucks. This movement isn't anti-cop whatsoever. And it sucks that it's unfortunately only the bad and salacious stuff gets the news coverage.
Well, that's important, though, because people need to know what can happen, that
of
can
course.
happen. We need to know about this. This Citibank thing is fucking disgusting.
But did you see the nice time release?
The idea that you can get the cops to act as protectors for these cocksuckers is really dark. It's really dark when you think about it, that it could even be steered in that direction.
Don't you think it's already happening, though?
In what way? I mean, they were this one Citibank thing? Yes, I do.
But I mean, they're like the police actions in New York, from checking IDs to make sure you're allowed to walk on certain streets. You had to have a Wall Street ID. You had to have an ID that matched one of the addresses that you worked there.
Well, don't you think that probably has something to do with terror attacks as well? I mean,
they didn't do it before these protests.
Right, but I mean, don't you think they're worried possibly that someone's going to sneak through? I mean, if there's so much fucking people and so much attention in a certain area, I don't think it it is a slippery slope.
Because first of all, this protest hasn't been violent.
Security.
This protest hasn't been violent. There have been outbursts, but they haven't. I mean, that's like the officer Tony Baloney that pepper sprayed those women that were in the net. I don't know if you saw that video.
Yeah, I did.
Like, that guy lost 10 vacation days.
That's it?
That was his punishment.
Really? That's it?
Yeah, it happened yesterday. He lost 10 vacation days for pepper spraying.
And he's still a cop.
3 women. Oh, still a cop. Doesn't get demoted, nothing.
He had also some sort of situation in 2004 where he abused somebody.
He punched somebody, I think.
Yeah.
But real quick, to finish that point, though, you got guys like that out there. You want those guys checking your ID to make sure you work at a building, and it's like, well, you go, yeah, it's for safety, but we've given up so many freedoms in the name of safety. And
I
this
agree
is
with
just
you.
further erosion of that.
I agree with you, but just playing devil's advocate, what if you don't work for anybody who's doing anything evil, and you work on fucking Wall Street and you can't get anywhere near your job because there's a million hippies out there beating drums, banging for the banks to close, and you don't even support the fucking banks. Be like, I hear you, but I got to get over there because that's where I work. And they're like, you fucking 1%er, you fucking piece of shit suppressing the people. And meanwhile, you're just a person who works there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I hope that's not
legit businesses.
I hope that's not the attitude of the protesters. I hope that and that's why I was troubled to see that woman call the branch manager like, "Oh, you're the 1%." I'm like, again, this is just a motherfucker trying to do their job.
Yeah.
I marched in the LA rally that they had. I was like, let's see this thing. If I'm going to put my weight behind this at all, or I try not to get too political at times, and I was like, if I'm going to be outspoken about this shit, I need to go down there. I need to see what it's like. Right. And I'm shocked at how many people have framed complex opinions about it and yet haven't gone down to actually see one. And when I was there, the cross-section of society that I ran into, I feared didn't exist anymore. Truly.
What do you mean?
Amazing people. There's incredible people. For every avatar dressed up, head-to-toe blue hippie that's banging a bongo drum, there were 3 people there of all ages, all races, that understood that shit is fucked up in this country and was trying to be positive about it. And trying to elicit change. And so it was a really nice feeling, but I feel like there were clear demands, and there was a good purpose to it then. Now it's being a little co-opted.
How long ago was this?
That I went out there?
Yeah.
Probably a week or 2 ago.
So you think it's being co-opted by nefarious forces that are working undercover to try to sabotage things?
Yeah,
like
I think
the
so.
Citibank thing.
I think so. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And what are they doing?
They do that to every movement. I mean, from the attack ads to marginalizing the message to entrapment.
It's costing them a lot of money. I mean, I think it was New York or something like that. Like they were going to go bankrupt from this, and
so
I think
Bloomberg,
it was
cough up the cash. He's where he got billions.
Right. Well, did you
keep that mayor job, fuckface?
While this was going on, I believe it was J.P. Morgan Chase announced their huge grant to NYPD of like $4.6 million or something like that. It might have been $1 billion. I'm not even joking. It's probably $1 million.
What?
You should Google it. But it's literally like as this is going on and the cops are there protecting Wall Street and pepper spraying civilians who are protesting it, J.P. Morgan is making multi-million-dollar donations to the NYPD.
No way.
Who are they going to serve and protect, man?
Right.
So yeah, they might be 1 or 2 pensions away, but guess what? They're not going to lose their pension. Politicians don't fuck with the cops because they know they need them there to protect them and protect the bankers.
That is dark.
That's why it was inspiring to watch that Marine. Dark. There was a fucking Marine colonel that was on the street. And you want to talk about pit bulls, Joe?
Yeah, I saw that guy.
That motherfucker was inspiring. And people were like, he only said 3 words. I'm like, it took him 3 words. Like, it was like, there's no honor in this, which is several more words than that. But it took only that from that dude wearing that uniform with that intensity to shut those cops down.
Those cops couldn't say shit.
They couldn't say
kept
shit.
Pointing to his medals and shit.
What are you guys doing? You're on horses trampling fucking innocent protesters.
Yeah, you're supposed to protect these people.
Yeah, this isn't a war zone. These people don't have guns.
Yeah, why are you hurting these people? There's no
honor in this.
It's very
That's all it took from that fucking guy.
J.P. Morgan Chase donates $4.6 million to NYPD during the protest.
During the protest.
So beautiful.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
It's fucking transparent as sin.
It's gross. This is something that would have happened a long time ago, and we would have never heard about it.
But look at the site that announcement is on. That's on their official website. It's not like they tried to hide this. It's not like somebody had to go digging up some file to find some back alley deal.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, world, we just donated $4.6 million to the NYPD. That's how good we are as people.
Wow.
How about what they found out?
Trillions of dollars that were not accounted for. More than our debt over the history of this country. They lent out. Without any debates, without any notification, they lent out more money than the history of the debt of our country to bankers to bail them out. They gave us one amount and then said, okay, here you go. Bail out the countries worldwide. Just go.
Most people don't even understand.
That was on a partial audit.
Yeah, partial audit. Most people don't even understand when you hear about the Federal Reserve System.
It's not federal.
Yeah, it's a private company. I mean,
the line is, it's as federal as Federal Express. It's a private company run for profit.
It's so hard to believe that our money is all being
privately
handled by foreign banks.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what a mind fuck that is.
Every dollar that you work your ass off to earn has debt already tacked onto it to somebody, and you don't even know it.
But how is that possible that they can call it the federal bank? When, I mean, what that is crazy. That's like calling a company that breaks into your house movers.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, how are you calling it that? How is that legal? how is it legal to call that the federal bank, the Federal Reserve?
Because I think they were reserved for they were the reserve for the Federation, right? I mean, that was what they were. They're like, well, when this country is in dire straits, or there's a market spike, or the next depression's going to happen, we're going to be there to make it all right by printing money. We're going to be the bank that lends money to the country.
What's amazing is when someone's running for president and they meet with the Bilderberg group, just out in the open. They just go and meet with them. And, they have these fucking meetings, and it's all online.
I want to chat with you for a few minutes.
Yeah, people that know Bill Clinton running for president met with the Bilderberg. Oh, vote on that guy. Meanwhile, they probably all meet with them,
But clearly.
They just figure out who's the best puppet.
Clearly.
Has that ever been
more... And that's so frustrating with Obama right now.
Yeah.
Because, I
was just going to ask you that. Has it ever been more evident?
So clear. And I was duped. I was fucking duped. I was sold on the hope and change. Yeah. And the reason I was duped was not because... I wanted to believe in the posters, but because I looked at where the money came from, and it came from guys like me. Yeah. I don't know if it came from you or you, but it came from individuals. It wasn't so much from the corporations.
It even did.
There was some there.
I wonder if it even did. I mean, who the fuck is auditing where the money comes from, and who's?
There's a couple sites that look at donations and whatnot, but that's never
have
fully.
It all down?
No, I mean, there's always back channels, and so for all I know, yes, the corporations could have totally put them in there, but I know that I donated, and I know a lot of other people donated, and so the sentiment amongst guys like myself who feel like sheeps now, the sentiment was, hey, the people are putting him here, so he's got the chance for the hope and change. He's going to fuck those banks over. He's going to get us out of those wars, like he said. He's going to do this, that, the other. And I thought because, well, my money went to put that there, and so did millions of others of Americans, he's going to feel beholding to us.
Well, he just escalated everything.
Continued the same policies away.
More people are being spied on than ever.
More
civil
More rendition is happening. Guantanamo's not fucking closed down. We're still in wars.
Remember that?
Yeah.
We're going to close down Guantanamo Bay.
Listen, it's a logistics thing. We got an Excel spreadsheet. It's going to take us like a year to figure it out, guys.
Yeah.
No, you're not closing that motherfucker down.
Yeah, meanwhile...
You're clearly not. And then taking the guys who are responsible for defrauding the nation, these guys from J.P. Morgan, from Citibank, from Goldman Sachs, from Bank of America, and putting them in positions of power, in positions where they can control the money. You put those guys in power, the ones that literally fucked this country by selling faulty mortgages and betting against their own customers.
That's the crazy shit.
Like betting against them, selling you shit in a box, putting a AAA rating on it, and saying, dude, this is so secure, you're going to love this shit. Oh, yeah, we bet against it, and now it's going to fail. And then you're going to give me the money to bail me out. He put those motherfuckers in his cabinet. I'm happy Don't Ask, Don't Tell got repealed, but you got some fucking work to do if you want to get my vote.
That's a crumb. That's
what I mean. But
that's a goddamn crumb.
I had a sign.
You're allowed to be our hired killer, even if you're gay. Congratulations, the world's perfect now.
Right? Yeah,
ridiculous.
We need those numbers up.
We don't need gay people killing people. We don't need any new people killing people.
I was out at the rally with a sign that said, "Wall Street wants to gay marry your illegal abortions." And people were like, "What, are you trolling this event? What are you doing?" And I'm like, no. I'm saying that like someone might see this and get outraged. And the statement that I'm trying to make, which was woefully missed, I get it now. But the statement I was trying to make was that the same anger you have for moral issues, you need to apply to the issues that are the fundamental problems right now, in my opinion. It's not those little moral issues that are on this sign that you're being offended by right now. It's these bankers that took the fucking money. It's the government that's bought by the bankers. It's the police force that's being paid by them to stifle your rights to protest. It's all that shit. Like, if that foundation crumbles, we won't be able to have the conversations about the moral shit that you want to have a conversation on.
It gets to a certain point. It gets to a boiling point where what happens? Because it's growing. Right now, they're saying that every day at Occupy Wall Street in New York, it's a bigger and bigger crowd. Every day. People are coming from all over the world to participate in it. My friend Jamie Kilstein, they're in fucking Melbourne, Australia. They're doing Occupy Melbourne, and it's like 10 people. Fucking hippies.
But they're out there.
10 hippies in Australia, mate.
But they're
fucking
out there.
Bankers, mate. They're out there, but I mean it's gigantic. Mm-hmm. It's beyond gigantic. So what does it do? When you look at it, do you extrapolate?
Well, constantly. You know, there's a million ways this thing can go, which is why I'm so fascinated by it. I mean, we are living in a chapter of a future history book, or we're living at the end of our society. I mean, we really don't. You don't know.
Maybe both.
Maybe both, yeah. Maybe this is New World Order shit. Maybe this is when the crowd gets completely beat down and that's it. There's nothing you can do. We just be slaves to the system.
Did you see Ron Paul at the Republican debate?
Yeah.
Ron Paul had this one brilliant thing that he said that everybody says that really pays attention to human history. He said, this is exactly how every single empire has fallen. They try to spread themselves out too thin, and eventually it all comes crumbling down.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We have a blueprint. We've seen this. We have the knowledge to connect all the dots as to what's happening right now. And yet we're just repeating history, but with slightly different tools and in slightly different volumes. You know, it's been ratcheted up. And we've survived a lot of that history, but who knows what atrocities could lie around the corner. But I've even been looking at, like, I'm doing all right. I got a good job. I got great friends. Like, I'm doing great. And I see... I'm really concerned for the direction of this country, which is why I'm trying to educate myself and be a little more outspoken about it. But I'm really concerned to the point where I've had the discussion of, all right, well, where's our exit strategy? What is it right now? If the shit really hits the fan tomorrow and they declare martial law in the streets, lockdown, you know, the riot police are coming in, are the Marines going to come in and fight? Am I going to wake up tomorrow morning, my dollar's worth nothing, and there's a war zone outside my window? I mean, we're potentially 2 to 3 years away from that. Maybe more. Who knows what's going to escalate?
Less.
Maybe less. It could happen tomorrow. And that the notion that it could happen, not that I think it will, but the notion that it could, I never thought I would feel that in my lifetime in this country. And I feel it right now. And I've been researching, do I go to Finland, Switzerland? I mean, Japan was my exit strategy for a little while there. Love Japan, but that country's hit some fucking hard times right now. And
you wouldn't go to Canada?
I would go right to Vancouver.
Vancouver's the shit. So
I've never been to Vancouver.
Vancouver,
maybe I gotta go.
Awesome.
Is it?
Yeah. You ever done shows up? Yeah,
a couple of times.
With me. Yeah, dude. Vancouver. First of all,
will there be a mass exodus?
Great comedy scene, great weed,
great women,
super nice people, and really a really diverse community of all sorts of different kinds of people. Why aren't I there
now? Well, I got to be there now.
That dude, I almost moved there in 1984 when Bush won again. Not 84, rather 2004. When Bush won again in 2004, I just sat back, and especially because I was paying attention to the whole Diebold voting thing,
right?
And I was like, this is ridiculous. I watched the Hacking Democracy documentary, and I'm like, these guys, they stole it. This is not real anymore.
You got a programmer testifying under oath that he wrote code that allowed him to rig an election.
And he showed how it can be done, and then did it.
Yeah,
and showed how there's a third party option in the software that allows a third party, other than the voter, other than the person reading the vote, a second person, another person comes in and inserts data and changes the data. And they showed how it can be done. And they had been massive contributors to the Republican Party. The idea that some company can contribute to the Republican Party and then make a machine that decides whether Republicans or Democrats win elections is madness. Absolute fucking madness.
It's called hedging your bets.
I got furious, man. There was a period of time over a couple of weeks. I'm a big fan of Canada. I love going up there, and I don't like the cold though. And I was like, man, Montreal would be the shit, but the winters are brutal. Fuck, where else could I live?
Right.
You know, maybe.
So
Toronto.
You had that thought. You went through that.
Man. I still do. I still go back and forth. I have my friend Bobby lives up.
So
in Vancouver.
What's going to be the pin drop?
I don't know.
Can you imagine?
It might
what's
be
the
just
catalyst?
as I get older. It might just as I get older. I just decide enough is enough of this nonsense. You don't have to live in this country. You know, we are eventually becoming a global society. The connectivity that we all enjoy right now because of the internet lets people realize that communities, like my message board, I have a massive message board, and this community is a message board of really cool people from everywhere, man. I have people from fucking Saudi Arabia. I have people from foreign countries. I have Asian countries. I have people from Canada, a lot of fucking people from Canada, people from Switzerland and Sweden, all over the fucking world. And it leads me to believe that this idea that a fucking line in the dirt can dictate where you're from. Right. No. It should be like-minded people. It should be cool people, like-minded people. Find them. And if you find a spot, it's across the dirt line. It's no good anymore. Yeah, but it's awesome. Whether it's fucking Costa Rica or where the fuck it is. If you find a place that you think that you could live a safer, healthier, friendlier life than what you're here right in the center of the shitstorm. You know, look, I love the idea of America. I love the idea of it all. I love the idea that, you know, we saved the world from the Russians and we saved the world from the Nazis, and that we're, you know, the noblest and the most creative. I love the idea, but I don't see it in practice, and it scares me. I don't want to.
Never been to a NASCAR game.
It's not a game. It scares me to think that I'm a rube. You know, that I'm locked into this stupid fucking system, and if it gets any worse, man, I don't know what to do.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like, what is while it falls apart around?
What is the catalyst? You know, and that's what I've been thinking, because, you know, people had chances to get out of countries that became locked down and wars started, and then it was like, you ain't going anywhere. Yeah, they had signs. They had news reports coming out. They had all that shit.
They didn't have the internet, though. They didn't have the internet. It was a different world.
Right.
The world that we're living in is a very strange world. And I don't know what happens when it all falls apart. I don't know. Is someone going to try to reclaim power? I mean, is there going to be an actual physical war? Are there going to be tanks in the streets? And who are those soldiers? Those soldiers are going to actually go after their brothers and sisters and cousins and neighbors?
Right. Yeah.
Are they going to do that?
Hopefully not.
How can they? Is that possible?
Well, they could be sold a message that it's not their brothers and sisters and neighbors, that it's insurgents, that they're terrorists.
And that would be the agent provocateur. So we need a certain population of sociopaths to make this whole fucking plan work for the man.
We're going to become Mexicans